Hey guys, time for another easy sub 3 guide. Before we get started, I do like to remind everybody that I do stream on Twitch and we'll be going live as this video goes live. If you guys would like to hop in and get some help with your sub 3, you guys are more than welcome to join us. Links are in the description. This week is Winterhorn Skraev. His modifiers are Umbral Instability, Tough Hide, Momentum, and Icy Grave. Umbral Instability you should not have to worry about at all. This is the Shroud Orb that will explode and set your HP to 1. I would not pay attention to this at all, as you can just pop a potion and get your HP back up once it does explode. Or if you're rocking Iceborne, you can just heal up or something like that. Tough Hide is always an interesting mechanic. It reduces the damage that the behemoth takes from each part. This generally makes it really hard to break the parts. However, on the flip side, if you are able to get a wound on a part, the damage that part takes is all of a sudden increased by a ton. So it's actually a very good modifier for wound, but for solos, unfortunately, for everybody except for Pike, you don't get a lot of benefit out of it. So just keep that in mind. Momentum should not matter at all either. Anytime he flies, you should be interrupting him. Icy Grave is his heroic modifier. So whenever you get frozen, it'll have that little trap underneath you. But let's move on to the build. The build this week is using the Toradora Legendary Strikers, and they're of course bonded to the Hellion Strikers. And we're using the standard Titan's Crash and Cyclonic Strike Plate. This weapon will give us the elemental bonus versus fighting Skraev because we're bringing a fire weapon, as well as Hellion unique effect being extremely strong. And moving on to the build. Here's the gear required. We're using Tragic Echo again in place of Iceborne. I figured with the new crit meta in place that rather than healing up from damage, you might as well just die and then just kill him in Tragic Echo instead. Seems like a better idea to me, honestly. We're using Dress Lantern here just for the extra damage because it stacks so well with crit. But you could use Embermane here as well. And of course, we're using Frenzy, Blitz, and Crit Tonic. And the cells that we're bringing this week is 6 Berserker, 6 Callous, 6 Cunning, 6 Discipline, 6 Overpower, and 3 Rage. I decided to switch one of the Rage over to Discipline for the extra crit chance, since we have so much crit damage. But if you want to be more consistent with your damage, you can definitely switch that Discipline back to Rage. Other than that, this build is pretty self-explanatory. Everything is just giving us damage here. And Overpower is going to do lots of work with all of his downtimes. Callous, of course, working really well with our potions. One more thing I would like to mention about the build is that this build could work with literally any weapon. The only weapon that would have to change for a little bit would be the repeaters, because they're forced a mobility slot. But I wouldn't really take repeaters for this fight anyways, since you're going to have to bring grenades for the interrupt. But every other weapon should have a really easy time, just an easy time as strikers. The only reason I played strikers was because I'm most confident with them. And I think you guys should do the same. Play whatever weapon you're most confident with. Any weapon is completely viable, especially with this build. Let's go look at the fight. So moving on to the fight, we're just going to pot up and go right in. He is actually moving around in the arena, so we're actually going to land right on top of him. We're actually going to want to just like roll into him and start our combos up and get our mantras running. And what we're actually looking for is any attack that causes them to move back. So there's that tornado effect, and he's going to go back. We're looking to get our mantras off these ice now, and we're looking to interrupt him as soon as he starts gliding at us. There's the interrupt, and we're just going to dash onto him and just start up clapping. So I wanted to prime those mantras so I could have them all ready to go so I could get my claps off. And as you can see, like, we just get so many claps off on his downtimes. I think we get 3 actually before he gets up fully. That last one we didn't quite get, so we almost got 3, but 2 full claps on Overpower and both of them crit. That's pretty huge damage. He's already down to half HP. Part break here, sending him down to another downtime. We already have our mantras running. We're getting another clap and Overpower. He's down to a quarter HP. It's pretty much over from here. Even if we die from an attack, we're going to kill him in our Tragic Echo, and boom, one more clap, he's dead. Easy peasy fight, very straightforward. Just keep him on the ground, keep punching at him, and if you die, just kill him in Tragic Echo. Good luck this week, and I'll see you guys next week.